Welcome into this week's episode of the Player Profile Series, now joined by senior defenseman from Toronto, Ontario, Ryan Kruss. Ryan, how are we doing today?
Good, and you, Cam?
Ryan, let's look back at your junior career, what some would call you maybe a little bit of a suitcase. I don't have enough fingers on my hand to count the amount of teams that you played for, but walk me through your junior path.
Yeah, so I guess I took a bit of the scenic route playing in Toronto and Ottawa areas, but I think it really prepared me well for college and got to meet a lot of great people along the way in different organizations. So, yeah, I did a little bit of traveling, but I got to see a little bit of different parts of the cities, and it was a good time all around.
So you're going to play your 70th game this Friday against Northland College. Right at home here, talk about your path to Lake Forest College.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, moved around junior a lot, but ended up at the St. Michael's Buzzers with Bron Loisel and George Argyropoulos. And, halfway through that season, my final season, decided to come down and take a visit to Lake Forest and really fell in love with the campus and what they had to offer with the rink on campus and the combination of academics and athletics. So I just really fell in love with the place, and it's been a crazy 4 years and can't believe it's the last season already.
So a senior now, like you said, obviously your last season. You came in with a freshman class of 13 kids. Let's go back to George Argyropoulos. You guys have known each other for quite some time.
Yeah, I think we're coming up to 13 or 14 years together. Played minor hockey growing up in Toronto together, live 5 minutes down the road from each other. So we've been pretty familiar with each other, and it's really nice to have him here along with me for the college ride.
You guys played at the Hill Academy. You guys had quite the squad. Talk about some of those players and how they've gone on to big things.
Yeah, that team was a really great team. We both, I think George and I both developed really well there under head coach Lindsey Hofford. And then some of the players that we, like you mentioned, Devin Shore, Ryan Lomberg, Zach Preisbeck, Dan Renouf have all played kind of D1 hockey. And you see Devin Shore doing really well with the Dallas Stars in the NHL now. So it was great to have those kind of players to go up against every day in practice. And like I said, I think it made George and I both a lot better players.
So the jersey number 28 hanging right behind us. How'd you end up with that number when you came here?
Yeah, it was my number on St. Mike's, and kind of just was number 7 my freshman year. And then when 28 opened up, thought I'd just jump on that and kind of stuck with it ever since.
So you're a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan, obviously growing up in Toronto. Ryan, I got to ask you, let's test your knowledge here. How many cups for the Leafs?
I believe it's 13 or 14.
Well, maybe after this season it'll be 14. So it's 13 right now. When was the last one?
1967.
And yeah. One more for here. Who was the captain when they won back in 1967?
Dave Keon.
Try George Armstrong. Does that ring a bell?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. We'll go with George Armstrong. Let's look at the Lake Forest College hockey team. Who's the best looking on the squad?
Wow, that's a tough question. I know talking with Bron Loisel, he had his answer, but I think I'll have to go with a freshman of ours, Will LaBelle. Okay. Yeah. Canadian boy, so
big guy too. I think he's about 6'4". He is. Yeah, handsome looking guy.
Very, very good looking guy. Yeah, he's doing well for himself, so it's good.
So back to the Bron Loisel, that kid, he's a riot anyways. But he said George Argyropoulos for the biggest clown on the team. You've known George obviously for longer than anyone on this team has. Is he going to be your biggest clown, or are you going with someone else?
Yeah, George is definitely up there, but I think we might have a new reigning champ this year in Max Cavallini. Coming in, he's quite the prankster, jokester, and always has a smile on his face, that goofy smile. So he's, George and him are probably neck and neck, but I'll give the edge to Cavs today.
And Ryan, obviously your last year here at the college, what are you going to miss the most?
Being around the guys day in, day out, and living with a lot of my best friends that I've kind of grown up to known here, and being on the ice and off the ice together, like Bron had mentioned maybe in his interview. But just that sense of camaraderie, really getting to build those friendships along the way over the 4 years, some new faces along the way. But, just that sense of camaraderie, like I said, is what I probably miss the most.
All right, Ryan, wonderful. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Cam.